Members of the top 10, please stand. Top 10, please be seated. Ms. Pacelli and Mr. Gallant will roll call each member, beginning with the class of 2020's officers. Ms. Pacelli and Mr. Gallant will then call names in alphabetical order in an alternating pattern beginning on the left. Once a class member has been fully recognized, the graduate will depart the bleachers, have a photo taken, and join classmates on the outside of Griffith Field to engage in the remainder of the ceremony. Soon-to-be graduates, when you hear your name, please stand. Proudly display your diploma. Listen for your recognition. And after your name is called a second time, please depart the bleachers in the same direction you entered. Mr. Gallant and Ms. Pacelli, please begin the roll call.
Lillian Chapman, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Michelle Pacelli, recipient of the Social Studies Award, class president, and number 9 in the class, Lillian Jean Chapman. Tori Lariviere, please stand. With recognition from Miss Julie Robert, recipient of the Dion Trust Scholarship, class vice president, Tori Nicole Lariviere. Hannah Leahy, please stand. With recognition from Miss Donna Pink, class treasurer, Hannah Ray Leahy. Ivy Gallardo, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Amanda Nardi, recipient of the Seal of Biliteracy and class secretary, Ivy Shao Gallardo. Aiden Wilson, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Thomas Coet, recipient of the Seal of Biliteracy, the Spanish Award, and class valedictorian, Aiden Christopher Wilson. Faith Shader, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, recipient of the Laker Award and class salutatorian, Faith Elizabeth Shader. James Bourgeois, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Thomas Coet, recipient of the Lawrence Pelletier Award, Senior Science Award, Social Studies Award, Ashland Corporation Award, and number 3 in the class, James Richard Bourgeois.
Tara Emerson, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Amanda Nardi, recipient of the Connecting Activities Scholarship, the Lakeville Lions Club Scholarship, the Michael Braverman Scholarship, number 4 in the class, Tara Jane Emerson. Zachary Davenport, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Julie Mills, number 5 in the class, Zachary Scott Davenport. Emily Marino, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, number 6 in the class, Emily Agnes Marino. Madison Vieira, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Julie Mills, number 7 in the class, Madison Kylie Vieira. Rosemary Gagnon, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, recipient of Senior Science Award, the Apponequet Music Booster Scholarship, and number 9 in the class, Rosemary Roberta Gagnon. Robert Pacheco, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Robert Powers, recipient of the Textbook Scholarship from the Philip Paulson Foundation, number 10 in the class, Robert Leon Pacheco. Brian Sears, please stand. With recognition from Dr. Barbara Starkey, Brian Keith Sears.
Parker Abbott, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Jane Estreller, Parker Douglas Abbott.
Elizabeth Anderson, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Ann Day, Elizabeth Margaret Anderson.
Emma Anthony, please stand. With recognition from Miss Nicole Graff, Emma Louise Anthony.
Brady Arguin, please stand. with recognition from Ms. Michaela Arguin, recipient of the Laker Award, the Gregory G. Missoudulakis Memorial Scholarship, the EAFL Scholarship, Brady Parker Arguin.
Rachel Balboni, please stand. With recognition from Mr. David Nassif, Rachel Ann Balboni.
Destin Barboza, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Kate Bullock, Destin Nicholas Barboza.
Divine Barboza, please stand. With recognition from Mr. David Nassif, Divine Juan Barboza.
Daniel Barefoot, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Rachel Hayes, Daniel Jeffrey Barefoot.
Jack Bennett, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Frank Rosa, recipient of the Dave Cohen's basketball nominee, Jack Hayden Bennett.
Elizabeth Bogwell, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Nicole Graff, recipient of the English Department Award and the Lakeville Lions Club Scholarship, Elizabeth Mary Bodwell.
Jenna Borge, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Kate Ross, recipient of the Lakeville Permanent Firefighters Association Award, FLBC Scholarship, Jenna Marie Borge.
Kira Borges, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Jennifer Cronin, Kira Elise Borges.
Matthew Boucher, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Jeremy Marais, recipient of the FLRSD Wellness K-12 Scholarship, South Coast Hospitals Group Activity Committee Award, Incorporated Scholarship, Matthew Ryan Boucher.
Emma Boudreau, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, recipient of the English Department Award, Emma Jane Boudreau.
Hunter Booten, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Jeremy Marais, Hunter Joseph Booten.
Elizabeth Bucher, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Ann Tavares Bucher, Elizabeth Claire Bucher.
Sienna Burris, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Michelle Pacelli, Sienna Shade Burris.
Craig Butler, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Joseph Solomon, Craig Carlton Butler.
Ethan Carrier, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Logan Carrier, Ethan Nicholas Carrier.
Hayden Carvalho, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Krista Lima, Hayden Paul Carvalho.
Nicholas Casali, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Edward Ledwith, Nicholas Edward Casali.
Caitlin Cretion, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Karen Cretion, recipient of the Corey's Cause Scholarship and the EAFL Scholarship, Caitlin Marie Cretion.
Keaton Sayua, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Frank Roser, Keaton James Sayua.
Nathan Cloutier, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Thomas Coet, recipient of the Freetown Lions Club Scholarship, the EAFL Scholarship, the Kenneth Winslow Memorial Scholarship, Nathan Reese Cloutier.
Ryan Cook, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Zane Fife, Ryan James Cook.
Grace Kudo, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Edward Ledwith, recipient of the National School Choral Award, the Apponequet Music Booster Scholarship, Grace Ann Kudo.
Caitlin Cummings, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Constance Bevis, Caitlin Grace Cummings.
Jillian DaCosta, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, recipient of the Freetown Lions Club Scholarship and the Michael Braverman Scholarship, Jillian DaCosta.
Nathan David, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Edward Ledwith, Nathan Lee David.
Allison Donnelly, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Karen Cretion, Allison Nicole Donnelly.
Brett Dorsey, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Robert Dorsey, recipient of the Apponequet Football Scholarship, Freetown Lakeville Athletics Association, and FLBC Scholarship, Brett Thomas Dorsey.
Nathan Downs, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Griffin Gerard, Nathan David Downs.
Jacob Dupuis, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Brian Vieira, Jacob David Dupuis.
Jaden Estrada, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Frank Rosa, Jaden Alejandro Estrada.
Joshua Farrell, please stand. With recognition from Dr. Barbara Starkey, Joshua David Farrell.
Victoria Fernandez, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Amy Lombard, Victoria Christy Fernandez.
Olivia Ferreira, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Katie Ferreira, recipient of the English Department Award, Michael Braverman Scholarship, Hawthorne Medical Associates Scholarship, Olivia Jane Ferreira.
Joseph Fiaschetti, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Griffin Gerard, Joseph Anthony Fiaschetti.
Avia Frayne, please stand. With recognition from Miss Connie Bevis, Avia Elizabeth Frayne.
Gavin Freites, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Franklin Moniz, Gavin William Freites.
Tina Frazis, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Katie Kirk, Tina Theo Frazis.
Jaden Freitas, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Joseph Solomon, Jaden Gregory Charles Freitas.
Jacob Franzaglia, please stand. With recognition from Dr. Barbara Starkey, Jacob Raymond Franzaglia.
Ryan Gallant, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Joseph Solomon, Ryan William Gallant.
Abigail Griffith, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, Abigail Jillian Griffith.
Nate Frochetto, please stand. With recognition from Mr. David Nassif, recipient of the Connecting Activities Scholarship, the Freetown Lakeville Women's Soccer League Scholarship, and the Lawrence Pelletier Award, Maeve Ellen Frochetto.
Hayden Hamill, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Joseph Solomon, Hayden Michael Hamill.
Calvin Hanson Brum, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Thomas Coet, recipient of the English Department Award, Calvin Daniel Hanson Brum.
Ethan Hardy, please stand. With recognition from Dr. Barbara Starkey, Ethan Xavier Hardy.
Colin Harrison, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Zane Fife, Colin Jacob Harrison.
Noah Henderson, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Kyle Cody, Noah Michael Hendrickson.
Kaylee Hill, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Connor Cowley, Kaylee Marie Hill.
Sydney Horton, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Joanne Horton, recipient of the EAFL Scholarship, Sydney Allison Horton.
McKinnon, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Julie Mills, recipient of the Eric C. Johnson Memorial Scholarship, Dominic Edmund Persian.
Paris Inacio, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Connor Cowley, recipient of the Dorvalino Giuliero Memorial Scholarship, Grants Rental Scholarship, Paris Alexa Inacio.
Ian Johnson, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, recipient of the Middleborough Tennis Association Award, Ian Dennis Johnson.
Jesse Jones, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Jack Higgins, recipient of the Social Studies Award, Jesse James Jones.
Benjamin Keener, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Joseph Solomon, Benjamin Michael Keener.
Zoe Kramer, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Tamara Kramer, Zoe Lee Kramer.
Cade Kaliga, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Zane Fife, recipient of the Autogram Football nominee, Cade William Kaliga.
Tyson Landry, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Frank Rosa, Tyson Anthony Landry.
Hunter Langiano, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Joseph Solomon, Hunter Christopher Langiano.
Joseph Leach IV, please stand. With recognition from Mr. David Nassif, Joseph Walenti Leach IV.
Daniel Latender Jr., please stand. With recognition from Mr. Jeremy Murray, Daniel Joseph Latender Jr. Sarah Little, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Maura Irwin, recipient of the Apponequet Music Booster Scholarship, Sarah Maria Little.
Francesca Lombardi, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Julie Mills, recipient of the Ashland Corporation Scholarship, Francesca Joy Lombardi.
Jordan Loud, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bernadette Gray, Jordan Ashley Loud.
Kylie Lucas, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Frank Rosa, Kylie Lauren Lucas.
Zachary Lucius, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Kyle Cody, Zachary Allen Lucius.
Joseph Macy Jr., please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Jane Estrella, Joseph William Macy Jr.
Brandon McKinnon, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Andrew Amaral, Brandon Michael McKinnon.
Sterling McLeod, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Rachel Hayes, Sterling David McLeod II.
Dylan Madsen, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Liesel Bork, recipient of the Ann Andrews Trust Scholarship, Dylan Arthur Madsen.
Michael Magalhaes, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Jeremy Murray, Michael Paul Magalhaes.
Allison Marr, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Rachel Hayes, recipient of the English Department Award, Allison Nicole Marr.
Cody Manfirm, please stand. With recognition from Mr. James Cabusio, Cody Richard Manfirm.
Gianna Marag, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Megan Giamalvo, Gianna Maria Marag.
Rachel Marie, please stand. With recognition from Miss Donna Pink, recipient of the Connecting Activities Scholarship, Rachel Olivia Marie.
Jenna Maxim, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Julie Maxim, recipient of the Middleborough Rotary Scholarship, Female Athlete of the Year, Lakeville Permanent Firefighters Association, EAFL Scholarship, Dorvalino Laterio Memorial Scholarship, and the Michael Braverman Scholarship. Jenna Loretta Maxim.
Felicia McCary, please stand. With recognition from Miss Jackie Falker, recipient of the Middleborough Tennis Association Award, Felicia Ann McCary.
James McLean, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Thomas Coet, James Henry McLean.
Carson McGrath, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Andrew Amaral, Carson Tyler Chase McGrath.
Jalen Medeiros, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Katie Kirk, recipient of the Math Department Award, Jalen Elisa Medeiros.
Mason Medeiros, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Edward Ledwith, recipient of the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award, Apponequet Music Booster Scholarship, Mason Brady Medeiros.
Zachary Medeiros, please stand. With recognition from Mr. John Stapleton, Zachary Tyler Crawford Medeiros.
David Medford, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Tristan Jolly, David Daniel Douglas Medford II.
Brooke McCure, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Sarah Hanks, recipient of the Mary Lou Winslow Memorial Scholarship, Brooke Caitlin McCure.
Irina Miranda, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Constance Bevis, recipient of the EAFL Scholarship, Michael Braverman Scholarship, Bevis Insurance Services Award, Irina Raquel Bevis Miranda.
Mia Mullen, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Constance Bevis, Mia Corinne Mullen.
Julia Murray, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Janet Tavares, Julia Margaret Murray.
Samantha Murray, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Thomas Coet, recipient of the Middleborough Rotary Scholarship and the Lakeville Police Association Scholarship, Samantha Veronica Murray.
John Nassif, please stand. With recognition from Mr. David Nassif, recipient of the FLRSD Wellness K-12 Scholarship, EAFL Scholarship, and Lakeville Police Association Scholarship, John Parlow Nassif.
Shelby Nolan, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Tracy Cabral, Shelby Ray Nolan.
Julia Norton, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, recipient of the Seal of Biliteracy, Julia Catherine Norton.
Lindsay O'Brien, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Julie O'Brien, recipient of the EAFL Scholarship, Lindsay Jean O'Brien.
Bruce O'Connell, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Lauren O'Connell, Bruce Daniel O'Connell.
Brendan O'Connor, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Janet Tavares, recipient of the Connecting Activities Scholarship, the Social Studies Award, and an English Department Award, Brendan Christopher O'Connor.
Jessica Paquin, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Tracy Cabral, Jessica Marie Paquin.
Jacob Paradise, please stand. With recognition from Mr. James Cabusio, Jacob Ryan Paradise.
Matt Parisi, please stand. With recognition from Dr. Barbara Starkey, Matt Thomas Parisi.
Althea Patrick, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Kimberly Lino, Althea Day Patrick.
Kyle Pitts, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Jeremy Marais, Kyle Patrick Pitts.
Megan Redpath, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Ann Day, recipient of the Donna L. Ventura Memorial Scholarship, Megan Lynn Redpath.
Zachary Rapucci, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Edward Ledwith, recipient of the John Philip Sousa Band Award, Zachary William Rapucci.
Ethan Richards, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Kyle Marshall, recipient of the Freetown Lakeville Athletic Organization, Ethan Gray Richards.
Summer Richmond, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Kyle Marshall, Summer Lee Richmond.
Tyler Rose, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Jane Estrella, Tyler Logan Rose.
Kayla Rogers, please stand. With recognition from Miss Krista Lima, Kayla Elizabeth Rogers.
Ethan Riggs, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Frank Rosa, Ethan Peter Riggs.
Jacob Santangelo, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Tristan Jolly, recipient of the Paul F. Corsi Memorial Scholarship, Roy Kaliri Award, George Gregory G. Meisler-Duakis Memorial Scholarship, Jacob Robert John Santangelo.
Taylor Santos, please stand. With recognition from Miss Tristan Jolly, Taylor Ann Santos.
Joshua Schwam, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Joseph Solomon, Joshua Andrew Schwam.
Elizabeth Senra, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, recipient of the Middleborough Rotary Scholarship, Freetown Lions Club Scholarship, Elizabeth Lauren Senra.
Paxton Siebert, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Kyle Marshall, Paxton James Robert Siebert.
Matthew Shinney, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Amy Lombard, Matthew Charles Shinney.
Charlotte Sherwood, please stand. With recognition from Mr. John Stapleton, Charlotte Rose Sherwood.
Joseph Silva, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Frank Rosa, Joseph Richard Silva.
Maria Pasqualina Shippey, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Zane Fife, recipient of the Connecting Activities Scholarship, Maria Pasqualina Shippey.
Corey Sorrell, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Jeremy Marais, Corey Jason Sorrell.
Camden Simmons, please stand. With recognition from Mr. John Stapleton, Camden George Simmons.
Avery Souza, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Griffin Gerard, Avery John Souza.
Ashley Souza, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Nicole DeTerra, Ashley Lynn Souza.
Julian Souza, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Michelle Pacelli, Julian Mary Souza.
Haley Souza, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Edward Medeiros, Haley Jean Souza.
Ruby St. Gelais, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Maura Irwin, Ruby Katrina St. Gelais.
Neely Spratt, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Jennifer Cronin, Neely Grace Spratt.
Brady Sunderland, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, recipient of the Seal of Biliteracy, Brady William Sunderland.
Leah Stockwell, please stand. With recognition from Miss Krista Lima, Leah Page Stockwell.
Thomas, please stand. With recognition from Mr. James Rice, Emily Claire Thomas.
Michael Sweet, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Frank Rosa, Michael Scott Sweet.
Nicholas Travellini, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Bonnie Ferreira, Nicholas Edward Travellini.
Brett Thrasher, please stand. With recognition from Miss Catherine Wicklund, Brett Anderson Thrasher.
Carissa Turner, please stand. With recognition from Ms. Lisa Fratera, Carissa Lynn Turner.
Caleb Tazika, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Frank Rosa, Caleb James Tazika.
Adam Wallers, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Jeremy Marais, Adam James Wallers.
Gabriel Villeneuve, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Thomas Collette, Gabriel Linwood Villeneuve.
Jace Watson, please stand. With recognition from Dr. Barbara Starkey, Jace Zachary Watson.
Connor Walters, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Joseph Solomon, recipient of the Michael F. McGuire Memorial Scholarship, Gregory G. Meisler-Dulakis Memorial Scholarship, and EAFL Scholarship, Connor James Walters.
Brad Westgate, please stand. With recognition from Dr. Barbara Starkey, Brad Douglas Westgate.
Kylie Webster, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Mara Irwin, Kylie Rose Webster.
Melanie Williams, please stand. With recognition from Mrs. Ashley Rimby, Melanie Ann Williams.
Ashley Whitehead, please stand. With recognition from Miss Julie Maxim, Ashley Lauren Whitehead. Brandon Wing, please stand. With recognition from Mr. Paul Goulet, Brandon Michael Wing.